Good evening and welcome to Bharat News on Bharat TV. My name is Shajeev Jagannathan and here are tonight's top headlines. Donald Trump announces a pro-America revamp for the Gulf of Mexico, while the Biden administration seeks a stay on a plea deal for 9/11 suspects. A massive brush fire in Southern California triggers mandatory evacuations, and Indian Americans make history in Congress with oaths on sacred texts. An Indian American dhol band is set to perform at Trump's inauguration parade. In Indian news, PM Modi discusses a potential EU-India summit with European leaders, and as concerns grow over violence against Christians in the country. ISRO announces Dr. V. Narayanan as its new chief, while Microsoft commits $3 billion to expand Azure AI in India. And internationally, Anita Anand, a Canadian minister of Indian origin, emerges as a frontrunner to succeed Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister. So let's dive right into the news today. President-elect Donald Trump announced plans to rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America during his first press conference since Congress certified his election victory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate, Trump said from Mar-a-Lago on Tuesday. Trump did not detail the renaming process, but emphasized its symbolic importance. He also criticized Mexico for immigration challenges, blaming the Biden administration's policies for a record number of illegal crossings and drug trafficking. Trump imposed significant tariffs on Mexico and Canada to address the issue. The Gulf of Mexico, bordering several U.S. states and Mexico, holds strategic, economic, and environmental significance. The announcement has drawn mixed reactions, sparking debates over feasibility and intent. Observers expect further details as his inauguration approaches. The Biden administration has filed a motion to stay a plea deal for 5 alleged 9/11 masterminds, citing concerns over unresolved legal issues. The proposed deal, which could remove the death penalty as an option, has faced backlash from victims' families and advocacy groups. Critics argue the plea deal undermines justice for one of the most devastating attacks in U.S. history. Proponents believe it could expedite long-delayed legal proceedings. The administration's case highlights the challenges of prosecuting complex terrorism cases, and the decision will likely spark debate over accountability and national security. A court ruling is expected soon, as the case remains under intense scrutiny. A massive brush fire in Southern California has scorched thousands of acres, prompting mandatory evacuations in affected areas. Fueled by dry conditions and strong winds, the blaze has spread rapidly, threatening homes and critical infrastructure. Firefighters are battling the flames with aerial support deployed to contain the inferno. Local officials have declared a state of emergency, urging residents to comply with evacuation orders. And climate experts warn that such fires are becoming more frequent due to prolonged droughts and rising temperatures. Social media is filled with images of the devastating impact, highlighting the need for robust disaster preparedness. And as the situation remains fluid, the containment efforts are ongoing. Authorities are coordinating relief operations for displaced residents. Indian American congressmen made history by incorporating their heritage during their oaths of office. One member swore in on the Bhagavad Gita, while another recited a passage from the sacred text during the session. These gestures highlight the growing influence of the Indian diaspora in American politics, and the events have sparked widespread discussion about multicultural representation in governance. Advocacy groups praise the move as a celebration of diversity and inclusion, while critics argue that such actions could polarize communities. The congressmen emphasized their commitment to serving all Americans while honoring their roots. Observers see this as a milestone in strengthening India-US ties, and social media has been abuzz with messages of pride and support for this historic moment. An Indian American dhol band has been invited to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration parade on January 20th. The group, known for blending traditional Indian beats with contemporary rhythms, is expected to bring a vibrant cultural touch to the event. Band members expressed excitement over the opportunity to showcase their heritage on a global stage, and Trump's team described the inclusion as part of the efforts to highlight America's multicultural fabric. The announcement has drawn mixed reactions, with supporters praising the move and critics questioning the administration's commitment to diversity. The performance is anticipated to draw significant attention during the high-profile ceremony, and the event underscores the increasing recognition of Indian American contributions to U.S. society. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held discussions with European Council Chief Charles Michel about organizing an EU-India summit in India. The leaders emphasized the importance of strengthening ties in trade, technology, and security. And Prime Minister Modi reiterated India's commitment to deepening its partnership with the EU to address global challenges. Observers view the potential summit as a step toward India's enhancing of strategic clout on the global stage, and talks also focused on boosting green energy collaborations and digital innovation. Analysts predict the summit could pave the way for new trade agreements and joint initiatives, and the discussion reflects India's growing role as a key player in international diplomacy. Both sides aim to finalize dates for the summit soon. Global leaders and religious organizations have called on Prime Minister Modi to take decisive action against rising violence targeting Christians in India. Advocacy groups report increasing incidents of harassment and attacks on Christian communities across the country. Critics argue the government's inaction risks exacerbating communal tensions, while church leaders emphasize the need for stricter enforcement of laws protecting minority rights. Prime Minister Modi's administration has faced criticism for handling of religious freedom issues, and the government reiterated its commitment to safeguarding the rights of all citizens. Observers warned that the ongoing violence could tarnish India's global reputation, and calls for dialogue and reconciliation efforts are continuing to grow. Dr. V. Narayanan has been named the next chief of the Indian Space Research Organization, succeeding S. Somnath. Narayanan, an accomplished scientist known for his contributions to India's cryogenic engine program, will take charge on January 14th. His appointment comes at a time when ISRO is focusing on ambitious missions, including lunar exploration and human spaceflight. Experts anticipate his leadership will accelerate India's advancements in space technology. Narayanan's vision includes enhancing global collaborations and expanding ISRO's commercial operations. Observers believe his expertise will strengthen India's position in the global space race, and the transition marks a new chapter for ISRO's future endeavors. Microsoft has committed a $3 billion investment to expand its Azure AI infrastructure to India. The move aims to meet the growing demand for cloud services and artificial intelligence in the region. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella highlighted India's strategic importance in driving global digital transformation, and the investment is expected to create thousands of jobs and boost innovation sectors like healthcare, education, and finance. Analysts view this as a significant step in solidifying India's position as a tech hub, and the partnership aligns with the Indian government's push for digitalization and AI adoption. Microsoft's expansion reflects the growing collaboration between global tech giants and India. Canadian Transport Minister Anita Anand of Indian origin is a leading contender to replace Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister. Anand's leadership during the pandemic and her focus on infrastructure development have earned widespread praise. Analysts highlight her ability to unify a fractured Liberal Party as a key strength, and critics argue she faces significant challenges, including addressing economic concerns and rebuilding public trust. Anand's nomination would mark a historic moment for Canada, reflecting its growing diversity in leadership, and her potential appointment has sparked interest both domestically and internationally. Observers believe she could reshape Canada's political landscape and amid mounting pressures. That's all for tonight's bulletin, and thank you for tuning into Bharat News on Bharat TV. My name is Shajiv Jagannathan. I will see you next time. Stay safe, and see you next time.